I'm going to start eventually transitioning into some numbers.
So we can do that right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Numbers. Okay, so I'll kick it off to you. What is your earnings projections, Tanner, based on some of the numbers that you've done? Or you can take whatever you want to take it.
Yeah, I sort of said this before, and I'll just say it again. But essentially, the way that I got these numbers was taking the equity, crypto, and options volumes, taking a similar take rate to what they had last quarter, a small bump in crypto, but not as bullish as some people that I've seen. That gets us a transaction-based revenue of $617 million. Okay. On the, what do you call it? Interest side, net interest side. Let me find that really quickly. I took a different approach, looked at what I believe is going to be the assets under custody of 210 billion, applied the same take rate there and got $420 million. So after contra revenue, after adding those things up, we're looking at just right around $1 billion of net income for Q4 of 2024.
Not net income, but revenue.
Oh, sorry.
A billion of net income, sign me up.
Woo! Yeah. At
Around
100% margin.
Yeah.
At net, sorry, I meant. Did I say net income? I thought I said net revenue.
Oh, you said net income. That's why I perked up. I was like, oh, got $1 billion of profit. Wow. There you go.
I'm pretty sure I didn't even misspeak there. I think I said net revenue.
How much you want to bet? I'll bet you $100 right now.
No.
Come on, let's do it, dude. Do a bet.
Maybe I said it. I don't know.
It's $100.
There's no advance contract on Robinhood for this. Otherwise, it would be a legit bet. So
yeah. No, I might have said it. I'm not that confident. You said net income. All right. I'll take it. Oh, people are saying okay. No. Everyone's agreeing. I said net income.
You should have cheered him on, bro. You would have taken the bet. Like, admits being stupid, bro. Just take the bet. Like,
so yeah, about $1 billion of net revenue after contra revenue, and then looking at. So the only thing I haven't done yet, and I can probably just take this out. I just need to find their diluted share count is get their EPS. But
so hold on. While you're doing that, let me go through my revenues because I have a different number. I have 649 million for transactions, and I have 296 million for net interest. And then for other revenues like gold subscriptions, I just kept it the same at 44 million. In terms of net interest, so I see your methodology where you're taking the AUC and then you're just deriving it. I didn't do it like that. I kind of was a bit more conservative on how I thought they would generate interest income. The only thing I increased was margin from, I think, 83 million last quarter to 100 million because margin balances went up a lot. Securities lending was the same. I actually decreased the interest on cash and segregated securities by like 12, 15 million. Credit card, I kept the same. Cash sweep, I increased by like 7, 8 million. And I get to, after contra revenue, 945 million of revenue.
Gotcha.
So we're both in the kind of the same ballpark here. The analyst expectations are raised to 938. So we got to beat that number. They raised it like literally on Tuesday.
Roy?
Yeah, so I didn't do calculations. I basically looked at expected numbers. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. There's two things that I think I'm higher on, and then I'd be lower on, and I didn't like put the number. So this is like very napkin math. But bottom line first, I'm gonna say about 960 million. I don't think that they hit the 1 billion mark. Still phenomenal numbers. I think margins will continue to show improvement. Part of that is they launch margin products in the UK, and it seems like, and it just my read on what other people were saying about it, that there was a lot of excitement over that. And so I think that we'll see some growth in that. I don't believe that they launch at the very first part of the quarter, but we'll see a bit of that. And they're also, of course, talked about ending that 1% gold match. They did it partway through the quarter. But with the assets that are transferring over to Robinhood, it seems like those assets under management spiked not just because of the increase in the equities in crypto, but also a lot more people putting money on the platform, which is great. but contra revenue might be a little bit more than expected. So I think in net that'll actually be more of a drag than I was expecting before. I was like kind of looking at things a little bit deeper, but I didn't crunch the numbers, do the nerd stuff. And part of that too is Robinhood gives us a lot of the monthly numbers. We have all of them, not for every single metric, but they release that on a monthly basis to everybody on their site, which is awesome. But there's also usually fewer surprises.
So we just got new earnings estimates I'm looking at right now. These mother effers, I don't want to curse because it's Saturday morning, but I want to curse so badly. They can't keep getting away with this, bro. Like, what if we miss 950, bro? Like, there's a world where we could miss.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
There's
It's very
absolutely a
possible.
world we could miss 950, and then I think they're setting it up, bro. Like, this is like it went from 930 to 950 after going from 650 to 850 to 830 to 870 to 900. Like,
Yeah.
Uh,
It's I don't know. I
I mean, now
think that,
Tanner, you better be right about $1 billion, otherwise we're gonna miss. Like, my number misses this number at 945.
yeah, I think that the better rates on crypto is going to surprise Wall Street as well. But you're also probably seeing a lower number on Wall Street because not everyone has revised yet. So there's still probably some estimates in there of people that haven't even put out a new number yet. So that's even probably lower than what you're seeing the average Wall Street analyst looking at right now. They're probably closer to $1 billion.
yeah, they
But
may
where,
miss.
where are you getting $1 billion from? Because my take rate on crypto is 0.55. Like, like, are you using 0.6 or something?
Well, I have way more money in net. You have more money in transaction-based revenue, but I have more money in net interest revenue as well. Like I'm 400 million. But
Okay, so how do you justify that? Is just pure percentage over? Has the percentage over AUC been accurate for Q3?
yeah. No, it's a pretty steady rate. It's actually been going down, so I kept it similar to Q3, which is a lower number than what you see at Q2, Q1 of this year. So
So for Q3, what was the percentage you took on their AUC?
0.18%.
0.18, and that's off 165 billion for Q3.
274 million for net
But
interest
how
revenues.
about how many AUC did you?
Oh, yeah, 152.
Okay, so you're
And
using,
now I'm assuming we're going to 210 at the end of. So I'm saying essentially 58 billion new dollars in assets under custody.
that's actually not that crazy.
No,
Not.
like we saw in November, 194. Like that's excluding the insane ramp up in December. I think it'll probably beat that.
So you're doing 0.18 of 210 billion.
Yeah.
I'm getting 378 million. Or are you getting 420?
Let me see.
Is my calculator wrong? 0.18 of 210 is 378. Pretty sure. Yeah, we were at 195 at the end of December. So
Yeah, I think we're going to 210. My thing is saying 420 right here.
that's wrong. I think 0.18% of 210 billion is 378 million. So if you that would
In last quarter, what does it show you for last quarter at 0.18? 274?
Yes, 274. Let me make sure what they had. They had
Can you guys throw up a chart so that folks can
course.
see what you're talking about?
Robinhood put up exactly 274 million off of net interest income last quarter. That was 0.18% of 152 billion. That literally gets you exactly 274.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 0.18 of 210 is 378. It's not 420.
Okay, well maybe this is.
So that would lower your projections by 50 million, Tanner. You're back at 950 with me. You just lost 50 million.
No. Okay, let's say 0.2 then.
But can we really increase the take rate like that? Like, is it?
If we look back at.
Yeah, 0.2 gets you there. 0.2 gets you there.
if we look back at all of 2023, it was at 0.27, 0.29.
But
So-
last quarter it was 0.18.
Yeah, which is the lowest point since Q2 of 2022.
I would assume it goes lower because we cut rates again, right?
Yeah, but we're also in new products now. Like there was no credit card back then. There was no
Credit card's not going to grow. It's going to be maybe another million. We did 4 million last quarter. Maybe it'll do 5 million, 6 million.
Yeah, I actually don't think that's true. I think that credit card will grow.
No,
I
but
think that
people haven't got their credit cards. No one's
yeah,
getting
but what you're looking at is, so one, people are getting their credit cards, so it is going to grow.
but not
and-
dramatically. Not like, it's like maybe a couple thousand people, tens of thousands, maybe.
No, you're talking about like 25,000 new people per, what did they say, per month?
I thought that was signing up on the wait list, not actually getting.
No,
them
it's 200,000 per month is on the wait list.
They're never going to get to that wait list.
I'm going off of the head of credit's investor day comments that says exponential growth will happen in 2025. Right now, they're still cohort analysis, experimenting.
Yeah. All I'm saying is the reason why it went down last quarter is because they're getting rid of a lot of the X1 cards. So that's from their old book. Like they didn't get 4 million the first time that they offered the Robinhood card. Those are all X1 users. So they're writing down X1 users and then pumping up.
Yeah, but regardless, credit cards doesn't get us there. I mean, maybe you assume another 10 million, which is ambitious for 15.
No. All I'm saying is securities lending is going to be securities lending is going to be much higher. Margin is going to go through the roof. Credit cards is going to play an impact. I think that honestly, I'm not actually looking at rates. I think they're going to grow much faster than that.
I mean, I did my numbers. I added more to cash sweep. I added 20 million more to margin. I took away 8 million from the interest just to be conservative. Also, you have to subtract that 6 million from interest expenses. I don't get 420, dude. I feel like 420 is aggressive.
It could potentially be. I didn't do it on a per segment basis. I just think the assets under custody, if you're looking at quarter over quarter over quarter, it doesn't line up with this quarter. This quarter is a massive breakout. We've gone up by 10, like from Q1 of 2024, we went up by 10 billion. The next quarter, we went up by 12 billion. This quarter, we're going to go up by 50 billion. Like, so
but in December, when we had 194 billion AUC, that extra 15 billion, where is that coming
194 was not in December. That was November's numbers. They didn't give us December numbers.
Got you. That makes sense, actually.
So that's why I think December is going to continue to add on more.
No, yeah, you're right. We're definitely adding 15 billion in December. Just through deposits, we would probably get a third of that.
So on this quarter, analyst expectations are really, really high. There is a chance that Robinhood doesn't surpass that, especially if they keep raising it. They have until Wednesday. But I think that the number that's actually going to be more interesting is they have a chance this quarter, not next quarter, because the comp's higher and there's also the legal fees, to hit that 100% revenue year over year. So last year, they hit 481 million. So 962 million is a number to beat. And it sounds like that all of our projections are just slightly under. Is that right? Or are you above that, Tanner?
Say that again. Sorry, I was reading.
962 million is a number they have to hit to get the 100% year over year revenue. Now, that's psychological, like the difference between 93 and 100. It's like, whatever. It's amazing. So is your number still, Tanner, ahead of that 962 million, or are you saying okay? Yeah, and Amit and
I'm not changing my my projections here. I think that assets under custody could come in higher than I expect.
Yeah.
I think that the crypto take rate could come in much higher than I suspect. I think that the other segment, I didn't add on any events contracts or.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's another. Yeah.
That's another 5 million.
Yeah.
So there's areas where I am being conservative.
Did you subtract contra revenue in yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 47 million.
You did 47. I did 41. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, we should come in at 950 to 975 on the high end, maybe $1 billion. But I think even with these analyst upgrades, we should We should beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, worst case scenario, and we saw this 3 times last year, that they have a phenomenal double beat, crush the market, and the stock price tanks. And that was frustrating at the time, but it was also amazing if you were looking to add more.
Yeah. You know.
Ironically, last time they missed on revenue because of the
Yeah.
contract.
No.
And that was a bit of a surprise. I don't think that they set that up well, and they should have done it differently. But at least now we know going forward what they were expecting, what we're looking at, and yet the stock didn't sell off hard. So it's interesting.
Yeah. I think they really explained the contra revenue for next quarter, like meaning Q4.
Oh,
So I don't think that will be as big of a surprise. They said that it was going to grow as much as it grew from Q2 to Q3, which I think was 13 million. Or yeah, something like that. So I think that it'll be 13 million higher than last quarter.
Okay, so we're all kind of in agreement that 950 could be achieved. Is there any world in which we're underestimating the amount of gold subscribers they got? I mean, they added 120,000 in a week alone in December.
So they added up. It was kind of interesting the way that they released that. And also be sure you put this in the numbers if you didn't. The Dogecoin at the very end of the year, and then they gave out some Bitcoin in January for the first. But I saw people telling me, I mean, that maybe they were lying, but I doubt it. In December, even though it was not gold only, that they were signing up for Robinhood Gold. They're just like, hey, this is cool. I'm going to sign up for Robinhood Gold. Like, cool. And then they got some Bitcoin the day after. So that was nice for them. So yeah, I think that on the consumer side, there's been 3 things that have really happened. One is the markets have been ridiculously hot, especially in November. December was also very, very good. Crypto likewise had a pretty good bump. I've seen sentiment changing towards Robinhood. There's still some people that are very have a lot of animosity towards Robinhood and Vlad, and that's fine. They can do that. But I've also seen a lot of people shift and change their mind and just say, hey, it's an awesome platform. I want to know this. We've seen them launch a couple new products on UK, hopefully ISAs and SIPs this next year. But yeah, with all those, I don't know. I think that they continue to accelerate the gold adoption. That what is it called? The something rate, attachment rate of gold has continued to go up, and I think that that'll continue.
It's better on the new cohorts too. Like the amount that they have on the total user base is something like 9%. But Vlad Tenev had said that the new cohorts that are coming onto the platform are like 20+%. So if that continues to go even higher, if that gets to 30% or something like this with all the new initiatives that they've tried in this quarter, like that could be a real surprise to the upside as well.
Yeah, I like that they're right there. Great comment. Appreciate you putting those numbers in the chat. Like, there's a chance that we're looking at 10%, so which is phenomenal.
Yeah, and he wants to get it to 50+%.
Yeah,
that's the end game. Yeah, like in my model, I assumed no change in other revenues. So 44 million, same 44. If that comes in at like 47, 48, wouldn't surprise me. I assumed nothing in credit card. I assumed nothing in securities lending. I assumed a decrease in interest on cash and segregated securities. And for crypto, I had 360 million. That's my big one, which I think is very possible. And that could be conservative if my take rate is low, but I think my take rate is relatively normal here.
360 for crypto is aggressive.
Dude, I mean, if you assume, so they did 70 billion in trading volumes. We have that number pretty accurately. I think I assumed, 0.52 on that? What do I do? Yeah, basically, I assumed 0.50. 0.50. The last time their take rate was 0.42. They said no, it was 0.44 on average. I think they got that extra 0.6.
I mean, maybe. I'm seeing some people say, like I think Joshua was reporting on this, and he's saying, oh, their crypto rates are skyrocketing in January and everything, but it's impossible to know. Like the way that they roll this out, and we've seen this 100 different ways, they will try out new pricing on 1% of their cohorts or a certain segment of people. So to take your individual data and try to say that that's what they got across all of crypto. It's like, that's very hard for me. I can't imagine that that's the big. So what I'm trying to say is during that call with Jason, whenever he said, hey, we're trying out these rates and we're not seeing people fall off, trying out what, 5%, 10% of people, 100%.
But the trade December was wild for crypto, dude, and November with Bitcoin getting to 100. Like even with experiments in different cohorts, I still think.
But we don't speculate on the trading volume. We know what the trading volume is.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is if they had so much more trading volume, if it wasn't 5 or 10%, if it was 20% in this geography, you know what I'm saying? If there was a way that they really did increase the level of experimentation with that take rate, and no one cared because people just wanted to buy crypto, right? It's not like people were nitpicking here and there. They just wanted to get into the Solana, Bitcoin, etc.
Yeah, so I have 0.44 on crypto. So if that goes way higher, that is pushing me to even higher highs.
Well, so I assume more on crypto, less on interest. You assume way more on interest, less on crypto. So one of us is going to be right, or both of us are wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can both be right. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
if we're both right, this is
no. What I mean is the end game is the same. If we assume that Robinhood is getting to close to $1 billion in net revenue, we both win.
yes.
You know,
yes.
Just being positive on the company, or they both have skyrocketed here and we are wrong on assets under custody and on their take rate on crypto, which will that's going to be one of those times where we all said 3 cents of EPS and then they put out 18 or whatever. And we're like, oh my God, you have to stand up and walk away from the table. Like, who knows? The problem with those quarters, we only saw 2 months out of the 3 months. We've seen all 3 months.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we've only seen a little bit of color in December. We're not seeing funded accounts. We're not seeing assets under custody. There's a lot extra here.
And the real unknown, and I think it might be more important than earnings, simply because they don't do product launches in earnings. We know what most of the numbers are. They're going to be amazing. And they don't do guidance, is January's numbers. And they usually hint at them, and then they'll give the full release, shortly after earnings itself. I think that's going to be more impactful than anything else they say, unless they shift and start giving guidance, which I don't see a reason to. What they're doing is working. So,
yeah.